Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of the Football Manager 2021 Unemployed Adventure. So, in the previous episode, it took a while, but finally on the 9th of November, I got a job offer here at Port Talbot Town. They're in the Welsh Second League South. So this episode I'm going to be going through a bit of the background of the club, getting a feel for it, and looking at a few of the players, and maybe trying to decide on what kind of tactic will suit us best, because we are quite low down in the table. The media predicts us to finish around 12th, which is about mid-table. But we've got 20 games left, and my key to the job is to stay up, and that is what I'm going to be aiming for. So if we look at the club history, they've won the Welsh Football League Challenge Cup in 2000, 3,000 capacity stadium, which was built in 1949, adequate training facilities, poor youth facilities, and limited youth recruitment, which isn't the best, but it's what you expect really at clubs this far down. They were founded in 1901, a semi-professional team. The club play their home games at the Genquip Stadium. I might be saying that wrong. I'm guessing it's Genquip. And they're known as the Steelmen, and it retains a fierce rivalry with neighbours Afan Lido. I hope I pronounced that right. The club enjoyed probably their best spell of success during the 2000, obviously when they won that cup, and they finished runners-up in the JD Welsh Cup in 2010. Finished runners-up also in the Nathaniel elGee Cup in 2006, and finished runners-up in the Welsh third tier for the only time in 2000. Okay, so they haven't had a lot of success recently. They got no director of football, no assistant manager. I probably will be looking to hire an assistant manager at some point, depending on the wage budget, because they do help with the picking of tactics and teams. So it's something I'll be looking into. Coaching staff have compiled a brief overview of the Port Talbot squad. They don't really have any transfer obligations or loan obligations. So got Jones up top, Mines on the left, Robinson, Wally on the right. Got Sincock, Jenkins in centre midfield, Dalton at left back, Waters at centre back, Hall at centre back, and Evans at right. Also got Harris in goal. I'll be looking more in depth at the squad from the squad view. We've got a hot prospect, which is Sam Snaith. Key players Morgan Jones. So, yeah, we will get into that a bit more. As we mentioned before, the vision for the club is to work within the wage budget and avoid relegation. Not really judging the cups, so I don't even know if I'm still in them at this point. And finally, we are going to schedule a press conference, and here we are at the start. So, as expected, there's a lot of players in the last year of the contract. They're a semi-professional club, so I will be surprised even if they have a lot of contracts here. But already having a brief look, there is quite a few players who have at least 4-star ability. There's four players there. We've got James Harris, who's 4.5. Morgan Jones, 21-year-old striker, who's a 5-star. He's recently signed another contract until 2021, so he won't really want to be sticking around unless we can stay up. Looking at his stats briefly, he's got good penalty taking, which is always good, especially in this game because so many penalties, and I notice it so much. So many penalties go against you when you need them, and your players always just end up missing them. So it's good to have a good penalty taker. Good teamwork, good work rate. That's what we like in the team. Good physical attributes all around, really. I mean, they're nothing really standing out there. Natural fitness and balance, obviously, but everything else is 9. That's pretty solid. Got 9 finishing, 8 dribbling. Technique's decent. Composure, concentration, decisions, they're all decent, and 10 leadership. So, yeah, I do think he's going to be our main striker, although I have just seen fitness, a broken lower leg. He's out for 6 to 11 months. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But let's go further into the squad. Got a few injuries. Our second best player, James Harris, is also injured. How long's he out for? 2 to 4 months. That's what you just absolutely love to see. He's our goalkeeper. We've got John Hall, who's a centre-back. Thankfully, he's not injured. I mean, wow, he's got good determination. Everything else isn't great. His passing's one, his vision's one, technique's one. Well, God, this is going to be an interesting one, I can tell you that. But trying to stay positive, marking's alright, tackling's alright, heading's alright. So, really, he can do everything defensively, pretty sound, but everything else, I'm not even going to make him pass the ball. His job's just to kick the ball out. I don't want him to pass anything. He can just fucking boot it up for all I care. So Lewis Mines, he's suspended. He's our left winger. Again, not too bad. Good pace. Acceleration's alright. Natural fitness is brilliant, so he'll be able to last for the full match, which is decent. Got alright passing, good technique, crossing's okay, decisions is alright, a pretty average player. I'm really not too sure what to expect from this league yet, to be honest. If you look at Darius Waters, I believe he's our other centre-back, he is. Good pace for a centre-back, good acceleration, strength's not best. Marking's okay, his tackling's pretty poor, and again, passing technique is all very poor. He's got practically no determination either. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. If we look at Adam Jenkins, who's centre mid, he can also act as a defensive midfield, which we do like to see. He's got good all-round stats, to be honest. I'd probably say, and for an all-rounder, he's probably the best player I've seen so far. I mean, all of them do seem to have standout attributes, but nothing really all round and solid. He's got good physical, decent mental, and to be fair, he's actually got a bit of technique to him, which is the first I've seen at this club. If we look at Ronan Wally, he's another right midfield. Pace decent, acceleration decent, crossing's not great, technique's decent, work rate's not great either, but beggars can't be choosers is the expression I'll use for this. So yeah, we're going to get into it. I'm going to get a feel for the team and try and decide on what kind of tactical direction we do require. I'm not too sure yet. I think I'm going to have a look a bit further in depth and try and create a tactic for what I want. So this team's car attacking intent ranging from very defensive to very attacking. I don't know if I've actually done something like this before, but yeah, let's go straight into it. It's recommending we play Route 1, direct counter-attack, park the bus. So whoever's recommending this to us, we don't have an assistant manager, I'm just guessing it's one of the players has said this to me. This is how they recommend we play, but I am going to create my own style. I'm going to keep it 4-4-2 to start with. Maybe not even 4-4-2. I think 4-4-1-1. I think that'll be more suited for the fact we don't really have a standout striker because he's injured until the rest of the season. We have a blank canvas, if I confirm that now. How I do want to play, if I go up to quick pick just for now, just to see if we have everyone in these kind of roles. Want them to be more disciplined just because I don't want them to try anything too outrageous and just constantly give the ball away. This is one thing I do want to try and focus on in this league, is just to play things simple and keep a structured, solid, compact shape. Simply because I don't know how it's going to go. The results in the first few games will definitely determine what kind of tactic I am going to go for, but for a relegation battling team, I do feel being more structured and definitely more disciplined, it'll be a lot better for me in the long run. We've seen that the passing isn't great, so I'm going to keep it shorter, just so they're not trying too many balls over the top, which is just going straight to the opposition, giving them a free chance. Now, we know our crossing isn't great, so we're not going to try and ask them to hit early crosses. I do think shoot on sight would be good, but I'm not too sure just yet. Mainly because I don't know whether our players do have the long shots or the finishing for shoot on sight and work ball into the box. We don't have great passing, so cutting through the defending line just won't work. Width, though, we do have pacey wingers, so I'm going to send them out wide. Just to spread the play out, I'm going to try and ask the team to find the wings as quickly as they can, so we'll focus play down the left and right, try and get in behind there. I'm going to keep it at a lower tempo as well. I don't want them to rush things simply because, like I mentioned about the passing and being more disciplined, there's a lot of changeovers in lower league football, and that's one thing I'm going to try and avoid. I don't want them to be constantly, as soon as they get the ball, looking for that long ball forward. I want them to take their time and actually think about things, because we've already seen a lot of the players don't have great decision making. So, yeah, I think for the in-possession part, this is what we'll pretty much stick with. I'll keep it basic to start with, and we'll kind of try and branch out from there. So in transition, though, when we've lost possession, we do want to regroup. Like I mentioned before about being disciplined, want them to stay compact as a shape and get back. And when we've won the possession, I want them to hold shape, keep their positions. If we try and counter, we might leave ourselves open and players just simply won't get back. So from a goalkeeper, we're going to distribute to flanks. Like I said before, got pacey wingers. I want them to get used as much as possible. And we'll quickly go over to out of possession. I'll keep it as a standard defensive line. I want them to be narrow so that we force the opposition outside. I'm going to set up the player instructions so that the right mid and left mid, they do both drop back. Pressing intensity, it's going to be less urgent just because I don't want them to get pulled out of space. Got to tell them to stay on feet. Too many times, especially in lower league, we've seen the aggression and the low decision making. They're going to be fucking slide tackling everyone, and that's not what I want. I don't want to give away stupid penalties. So this is how I'm going to kind of base my first tactic around. And again, this is just going to be for the first few games. It's going to be quite defensive, just to try and get a feel for what the best team is and also what players work best and where. Sorry, I just had to clear my throat there. So yeah, this is the kind of tactic. We're going to work on a few more tactics, which I will do off screen. But what I do want to focus on is trying to find out what kind of schedule I've got. So we know Afan Lido is going to be a big game. It is, I believe, a derby. If we go over to general. Yeah, it's a steel derby. And they are our fierce rivals. So we've got Godtre United. I hope I pronounced that right. They're a rival. I believe they're 7th. They're quite high up. So that's another game we'll look forward to. So currently we play them in two games, and then we play Godtre United. And then another 2 games, it's Afan Lido. So those 2 games I'm going to be focusing on. And I will be commentating over. However, I believe Carmarthen I'm going to use as a kind of blank page, try and see what tactic works best for us. Okay, so welcome back, and I didn't realise this at the time, however, Carmarthen are top of the table, and they are predicting it's going to be impossible for us to win. However, staying positive, this is our managerial debut. I'll just quickly go over to the tactic. So I made this earlier on. It's just wanted to be a bit structured and very, very disciplined. I don't want them to try anything too outrageous. I did create a backup tactic in direct counter-attack. It doesn't look great because we've got 1 striker and these players don't really suit and the roles don't really suit how we're going to play. However, I thought direct counter-attack would work quite well. We'll have the ad command just to provide that extra line of security in front of the defence. Got the 2 wingers who we know can get forward very quickly. Box-to-box midfielder and Jenkins will be wanting to get up the pitch, and Baker who can win the ball. But we will be starting with our defensive 4-4-1-1 tactic simply because I want them to stay structured and not try anything too stupid. If we go over to team selection, ready for the match, believe this is the best team to go for. We'll quick pick it just because I have no idea who's going to fit in where just yet. So yeah, we'll go over and submit team. We don't have a great deal of standout players here on offer for us, but let's just see how it goes. This is going to be my first commentary over a match, so you're going to have to bear with me with some of the names. To be fair, it doesn't actually look too bad. Faciuto? Who knows? Right, let's get to the dressing room. So this is my chance to talk to the players. First time in the dressing room. Gonna try and encourage them. Gonna pump the fist. We've got nothing to lose here. We know how good we are. Let's show everyone else what we're capable of. So we've inspired and motivated one player. That's pretty good. I have faith in you, go make a difference. I have faith in you, go make a difference. I have faith in you. Get out there and make a difference. So, looking at the reactions, inspired and motivated, a lot of them are composed. Kieran Dust didn't really affect him. Lewis Sincock, Bailey Emblin-Jones, normal as well. But, let's get straight into it. I believe I have all my settings set up. I'm not too sure. But I am quite nervously excited for this one. They are top of the... Why is it giving me tutorials? I don't need tutorials. I've got about 3,000 hours on this game. Just gonna actually change the match speed during the highlights. Just so it doesn't bar the death out of me. And match speed during text-only highlights. We'll stick that up as well. So we kick off in the blue. Robbins forward to Carroll. Barry straight over to Phillips. Gets a chance to shoot, but he sails it wide. Not the best start for us. However, we are, what, 3 minutes in. I'm not expecting us to do anything too quick into the game. Trying to take things slow as they get a corner, and it's Howard to whip it in. Howard whips it in. Robbins with the goal. 1-0. 10 minutes in. That's not perfect. It was actually a Thomas Evans own goal. I'm not quite sure what happened here. I was too busy looking at Robbins. I mean, you ask him to stand on the post for a reason, and clearly that's just failed. He just headed it straight into his own goal. But we look to break forward with Williams. He's one of our pacey wingers. Finds Robinson. Baker with a great ball out to Williams again. And Robinson looks over the top. Unsuccessful that time. Baker tries the same ball. Yet again, unsuccessful. It's maybe something we might have to manage. Try and make him go even shorter, less direct. As Berry crosses the ball into Phillips. Safe hands by Hopkins. So overall, not the best start so far. They've had definitely the better chances. We haven't really had a sniff at goal, but hoping that they'll come into it a bit more. I'm going to shout a bit of encouragement to the team, try and keep the morale up. And as you can see, we've had one shot on target so far, and our XG is 0.06, so we haven't really been in the game at all. However, possession isn't everything, but that is slightly encouraging that we are got the better of it at the moment. And if we look at our XG match story, we really haven't been in the game at all. They've looked like outscoring us pretty much from the start. Since they've got that first goal, they've just been all on top of us. So that's something we'll be trying to address in this next half. I'm going to tell them I'm happy with the performance so far, just to inspire them and give them that bit of motivation. It hasn't been great, but like I say, they're only 1-0 up, and if we get the one chance to score, I hope my team can take it. As Robinson tries to find another long ball over the top, which just keep failing. It's really something I'm going to have to address soon. Wally with a great header out. Smith, who finds Berry. And Carroll, if they can try and get another ball in, which they have. Watkins away. Carroll back out to Smith, who finds Berry's got a bit of space. I think Hopkins saved that. No, it's a goal kick. They're looking slightly more dangerous now. They've got a lot of space in and around the box, especially on the wings. So I'm going to tell my team to force opposition inside, see if that works a bit. I'm going to lift up the tempo a bit more. I'm still not sure whilst the central midfield of Baker and is it Robinson? I don't know why they keep on just pumping the ball forward, but This fellow finds a ball in. Thomas can't get onto it, but thankfully that is a goal kick. So still we've had no shots, but this is another highlight here. Got Robinson out to Evans, Smith. Oh, what a chance that was. He just headed it over, but that's slightly encouraging. If we can get another chance like that, I'd expect us to score it. It was unlucky there. Hopkins, big ball forward, straight to them once again. As Berry finds Carroll. Oh, good interception by Wally. Robinson, oh, he didn't actually try the long ball that time. He tries to find the wing, which is intercepted by Fallow, and Williams picks up the ball. See if we can try and work something forward here, get another chance. And lower league football, it never surprises me. They always just pump the ball straight to the opposition every time. So that's not encouraging. And Hopkins, what? I thought he awarded a penalty then. I thought he gave away a penalty. So we're going to go ahead and make a change. I'll pause the game just now. So I haven't had a real good look at all these players just yet. A lot of them are very, very defensive. So I'm going to swap out Sincock for Matthew Baker and stick him on a more attacking centre mid role. Cameron Jones can come on for Sam Snaith. We'll keep him as a poacher because it looks like it's his best role we can offer him. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to keep it at just for now. I'm not too disappointed with how we've played. We haven't had any chances really, which I can remember other than the header, but if we can get another one and score a goal, then it'll be really encouraging. As Jenkins picks up the ball, Robinson, what a ball to Williams. Is he offside? He was offside. He didn't score anyway, so it doesn't count, but he's definitely offside there. Going to bring the mentality up to balance, see if we can try and get anything back in this game as they whip a corner into Phillips, who heads it well over. So if I demand a bit more from the team now for the last 10 minutes, see if we can get anything at all from the game, push it up to attacking. But to say for our first game in, a 1-0 defeat to top of the table wouldn't be worst case scenario. Haven't been many positives from the game, but we've managed to keep them down to 1 goal so far. As Sincock clears it all the way to their right back Watkins, big ball forward to Thomas, well intercepted by Dalton. So yeah, it's not the worst case scenario, 1-0 loss. There's definitely room for improvement, but it's against top of the table, and clearly there's a reason they're the top of the table. They're a good team, and for a team of our structure and our position, we shouldn't be expecting to beat them anyway. So I think it's going to run out for the last few minutes now, unless we get one final chance, which is looking unlikely because Watkins is taking a fucking year to throw the ball. Yeah, he's wasted time brilliantly there. Shame my players never do it. So if we look over at the stats, we've had 2 shots, 1 on target. Our XG was so low. Got alright passes completed percentage, and we've won possession, but obviously that doesn't mean anything in this game. Looking at some of the ratings, our centre-backs didn't have the best games. Our right-back definitely didn't have a good game. Left mid Williams didn't play well, and neither did Robertson, just behind him. So yeah, we never really did look like scoring that game. However, like I said before, it was against top of the table. I'm not too disappointed with that. We could be a bit more attacking, but if we'd been more expressive and more attacking, then who could know? It could be 3 or 4-0. But 1-0 isn't the worst one. If we look at see how the fans have reacted, surely everyone else is disappointed with Evans today. Yeah, I get that. Our right back, he wasn't good enough. If only someone had been seen this coming, of course. Maybe we should support our players. Cheers, Corey O'Donnell. I do agree with that. Try and support the players as much as possible. So yeah, I'm not overly disappointed with that result. Like I say, room for improvement, and we definitely are going to look to try and improve that. But goalless Snaith worries Port Talbot. Was out of luck today. On Saturday, as the striker's latest attempt to end his goal drought was thwarted. 10 hours of football without finding the net. That's not brilliant. I might have to bring someone else in. Who have we got who can play striker? So obviously Morgan Jones, our main one, is out, but we do have Cameron Jones. Sam Snaith isn't finishing. When in all honesty, for an 18-year-old, his finishing and dribbling isn't bad. Good determination and good off the ball. These aren't the worst stats. I mean, if you ignore everything else, like the poor passing, poor stamina, poor strength, he's a finisher. So I think he might be worth a shout in the next game. An 18-year-old, they always surprise you. So yeah, I think I'm going to give him a call up for the next game, seeing as Sam Snaith is on such a long goal drought, and we do need goal scorers. So, as you can see, our top goal scorer, Morgan Jones, he's got 3 goals, but of course he's out until the end of the season, which just isn't ideal. So looking at the schedule, I think the next game we'll be coming back to is Gautre United. It'll give me another chance against Lantwit Major to see what kind of tactics I want to use, what team will be suited best. And yeah, I think I'm going to commentate over the Gautre United one, and we'll look at all the run-up for that as well. But this next game, as well as Carmarthen, have just kind of been a bit of a blank page and trying to figure out what works best and what is going to be the best direction for us going forward.